author, professor, mentor. Titles that sound impressive, titles that sound permanent. But here's what I have learned with time, they keep changing, and so do I. My story isn't extraordinary. It's just like an ordinary girl next door, shaped by sweet and salty mixes of achievements and struggles. But that's the thing, that even today, that everything I have become, I don't think I am close to done. Not because something is missing, but because growth doesn't cease at a milestone. Our life is editable, doable, reviewable, and workable. And that's what I call it, that we keep living in draft mode. This, people, we shall bring to life today. Good morning, everyone. Today we will be talking about this very own thing. Now, let me ask you a question before I proceed. How many of us have someday written something, either a message in love or in anger, a draft, a poem, a story, and kept it as a draft mode? And forget writing, how many of us just think about doing something but then stop us ourselves, hold ourselves, and not do it? We are raising hands. Okay, from the looks of it, almost all of us, right? And that is your draft. Okay. Trust me, I wake up every morning with 5 to 10 new ones in my mind that I know that I'll have to hold though. Let me start with a story. The story is about a student of mine. Let's call him Ted. Ted has been a brilliant student. Not the loud kind of brilliant, the quiet kind. You know, the one who sits in the last row, understands everything, but still keeps doubting himself. One day, after the class had left, he came to me, holding his phone as if it's something fragile. And he said, "Ma'am, may I show you something?" Out of all the possibilities that I was weighing in my mind that a college boy can have on his phone, I still consented, knowing that Ted had a sparkling image. Now, he showed me his phone app. There were innumerous folders, folders of stories, folders of assignments, and then one folder called Life. In this folder of Life, slide change please. In this folder of Life, there were innumerous drafts. The drafts, messages he never sent, the apologies he never owned, the confessions he never made, the ideas he never pitched. But there was one thing, one very important thing, that was the premise to this discussion. Next slide, please. That was the premise to this discussion, and it was a letter that I will send when I become brave. He said, "Ma'am, I have written this 2 years ago and I'm still editing it." I asked him, "Who is it for?" He said, "For my father." Surprisingly, of course, his father had loved him, but with a few conditions, not the cruel ones, just the cultural ones. And he said that, "I have been just reviewing it, ma'am. I am just editing it." His father, of course, was very much concerned for him to be safe, be practical, be okay. And that's how fathers are. But then I asked him, what is he waiting for? Why haven't he sent it? And then he said, "Ma'am, yes, I am waiting. Waiting? Waiting to become perfect? Waiting to own your own dream? Waiting to become ready? To feel a better version of your own self?" And that's where it clicked me. That draft mode is not silence. It is about you being you, thinking about that it is not a problem, but it is a truth, that you have to keep editing it, revising it, reviewing it. And that's the point, that this particular draft mode has to be there alive. We live in an age that celebrates speed. The faster the better, the busier the more successful. We scroll faster, we talk faster, we even dream faster. There has been a phase in my own life, endless classes, deadlines, meetings, where I felt that silence is a waste of time. But then I realized that from the outside, even if it looks so successful, there was something that I needed, because the more I chased more, the more I lost my center. That's when I understood that more isn't always better. What is more is just a motion, and if it is without meaning, it's just a noise. Then, surprisingly, I understood that draft mode is not about unfinished ownership. It's about unfinished ownership. It's not about unfinished work, I must say. And that was the draft in tune with you. So how does draft mode looks like in real life? It has three footprints. One, conditional living. We keep delaying ourselves. We keep thinking, not today, maybe the next time, maybe a better version of me. We keep doing that. And we forget that because of this, our present has started to depend on our future approval. The second is emotional footnotes. It's like we care, but not visibly enough to be vulnerable. We we do love, but with disclaimers. We feel quietly, deeply. It's like our heart speaks with an asterisk, with always adding a bottom line that hold caution. Are you not scared? What if it goes wrong? What if I get hurt? And that's where everybody relates. We keep ourselves safe. And the third footprint is identity delay. We hold ourselves. We say, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow, when I'm more ready, when I'm more successful. But what if tomorrow doesn't arrive like a destination and it arrives like an excuse? And this is how it is. We have to remember that draft mode isn't just a hold, it is actually a gateway to becoming. Becoming. That beautiful philosophical journey of evolving into our best selves. Now, my journey of becoming has been awesome. Not that elegant, I should say. It's been less a butterfly emerging gracefully from a cocoon to more like a cat missing the jump and calmly licking its paw, like, oh, exactly as planned. Um, we keep living in an age of polished outcomes, filtered photos, perfected speeches, and we keep moving. We just keep comparing ourselves with the edited versions of people and delay our unfinished selves because of fear of judgment. That's what we keep doing. But here's the thing, we all want to become something, right? Wiser, stronger, if nothing else, at least more patient with whatever is happening around us. And that's the thing, that this progress doesn't has to be perfect. We don't become everything all at once. We don't have to. We become like the way pizza heats, right? Silently, unevenly, slowly, and slightly with a burnt corner, and that's okay. Because progress doesn't need perfection. It needs a sense of humor and the ability to stand up after each fall and say exactly as planned, right? Now let's not lose sight of Ted. He found himself on a breakfast table, the discussion being, when will he join the family business? That night, he was there, sitting alone. Alone is obviously, of course, with the phone. And he was not actually scrolling through highlighted reels. He was just there, staring at that draft. He was not comparing his behind the scene with anyone else's stage. He was not looking at any other thing but just staring at that particular draft. The draft that he had to send, that he wrote 2 years back. That draft, he then said, didn't make it perfect, and thought, because that thought hit him, that what if I didn't get to send it? That was the moment when Ted had to become brave. That moment had arrived. He pressed send, and that is pause to publish theory. He didn't make it perfect, he just made it real, and he had to send it. Pause to publish theory says that this pause is very, very important for your life. It is not emptiness. Think of a dancer perfectly still before the first move, or a musician, that silent note before his first move. That is not emptiness, that's presence. Because in that presence, all the possibilities exist. You don't actually know where you go, where it comes. And that pause is not laziness, it's technically alignment. Um, of course, after that, this silent thing, when Ted understood, and when his truth became louder in that silence, he got a message. Come, let's talk, of course, from his father. That's it. Just these three words. No drama, no lecture, nothing. Just an opening. And then he sat in front of him. No script, no draft, no safety of typing, just him. He said, Papa, I'm scared, but I want to do something different and make a name for myself. His father stared at him for a long time, and he said, I didn't know that you were waiting for me to approve your life. This line, it changed him. Because most of us, we are not waiting for time. We are actually waiting for someone to just say, now you can be you. Now, this you can be you thing is something that we are looking forward to. It's like we wait for someone's approval. We just need someone to say that yes, now I can be me, my own self. How many of us have seen people around or ourselves that we're almost there, almost ready, almost enough, almost confident, almost. We tell ourselves that I'll do it sometime later. Later, when I am more settled. Later, when I'm more qualified. Later. But what if this later becomes a permanent address? That day, Ted unknowingly solved the equation of becoming. Slide, please. He subtracted his pretension. He gained awareness. He became courageous and he trusted time. That's what becoming is all about. He didn't become fearless. He became present. He didn't become perfect. He actually became his. Months later, Ted came. We met again. And he said, Ma'am, of course, on his phone, see, I still write drafts. But now I don't live for too long in them. His drafts were still there, but with a new folder that was not for the future but for the present, and that was known as published. And with a very interesting smile, with that so called happy smile, he said, I am writing drafts, I am editing it, I am reviewing it, and the drafts that I don't touch, after a time, after a while, I press that Control Alt Delete because that is something that just takes up my space, and that's how life is. The drafts that are being untouched, you have to delete them. You cannot just keep lingering on. It is that life is not a continuous, it's not a finished version, right? It's a continuous publication. Whatever you keep doing, it's there in front of people. You are there, always under the cameras, always there, available. Anyone can see where you are, right? And that's the world we are living in. You don't actually become ready and then live. You live, and that's how you become ready. There's a very interesting theory by a German professor, Peter Gollwitzer. And the theory is known as implementation intentions. This theory says, in a nutshell, this theory says that we are not lagged behind because of not being motivated. We lag behind because we are not crossing that line from wanting to acting. Because wanting lives in the future, action lives in the calendar. For example, if you say that if it is 7 a.m. Monday, I'll hit the gym, rather than just saying I wish and plan to exercise someday. Now, I request you all to take a moment, choose one thing that you have been delaying for long because it matters, and then silently just fill this. Just give your own self that time and that action. Let me share how this has helped me. Becoming an author was a childhood dream, but it always lived in draft, always postponed, always someday, until this clicked. And then I understood that dreams don't move without deadlines. So I gave my dream a date. And that single decision turned that intention into action and a manuscript into a book. Now, let's come back from where we started. That draft that you didn't send, you didn't save it because it was weak. You saved it because it mattered. Life is like that. Not unfinished because it lacks value, unfinished because it's alive. So if today feels slightly chaotic, disturbed, or indifferent, that's okay. That's great because that means that you're still writing. Let us also be brave and have another folder as TED became, and let us have another folder published in our lives. After all, no great stories, no meaningful life was ever created without a few silent drafts. Thank you all and keep drafting.